It's always nice to take a breath. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And today I'm your show host, and my name is Gail Edwards, known as the Breakthrough Diva. And I'm broadcasting to you today live from London, so it's morning here where I am. It's a nice, crisp, cold winter morning, and it's the morning that reminds me exactly why I do what I do and how I came to be doing it as well. Because there was a time when the Breakthrough Diva seemed like pretty big shoes, even for me, even though they were of my own creation. And I had to really dig deep to find out whether I was even worthy of wearing these shoes. And that happens a lot to people, particularly women who are seen to be successful, who are seen to be confident, are seen to have it all and know it all. But inside, we have that little voice. In fact, the voice may be little, but it's loud, that's telling us that we're not worthy, we're not enough. We can't really step into those shoes. And I was kind of ignoring that voice for a long time because I was exactly that. I was a successful woman. I had a lovely home, fantastic daughter, a loving husband, and everything seemed, according to the outside world, to be going very well. My business was thriving. I didn't need to advertise. I had word of mouth referrals, queuing up around the corner, literally. But that voice, that little but loud voice, was saying to me, Gail, there's more to you than this. There's more to your life than this. This is not why you came here. This is not why you asked to come here, because I truly believe that there's a life before there is life, and that we make a contract to come and serve a purpose when we come down into this earth. And I felt I wasn't fulfilling that contract. So through my quest to fulfill that contract, I was sitting one day in a seminar, and I don't even know what it was. I just know that I was in a seminar in New York, and I heard the woman on stage say, my only regret is that I've only been living a life of purpose for 12 years, and I'm going to be 50 next month. And I thought, wow, I did a quick calculation. I thought, wow, she was 38 when she started. I was 35 at the time. I've still got time. So straight away, I made about making an immediate change. What I didn't realize was that in making that decision, a lot was going to fall away. And sometimes when we make these decisions, we don't realize that the actual decision is only one part of it. That's just the beginning. And if you're true to that decision and you've made that decision from the right place, there's going to be pain and there's going to be challenges. And in my case, there was absolute devastation and destruction because my life fell apart. It absolutely fell apart. My marriage fell apart. And how it fell apart wasn't through any kind of, infidelity or unpleasant behaviors. I just realized who I was. And when I realized who I was, I then realized that the person I married was actually married to somebody else, not somebody else, really somebody else, because no, we were married. There was no bigamy involved. But he wasn't married to the true me, the real me, the authentic me. He wasn't married to the me that had made that contract when I came here, that soul contract. And that then started to explain why we had always had difficulties, but niggles within our marriage. Some people are meant to be together and that they're meant to be together. And some people are just meant to be in each other's lives, but not together. And I truly believe that my ex-husband and I were meant to be in each other's lives, but not together, because now that we're not together, I can see quite clearly what fantastic and powerful people we are and what fantastic and powerful parents we are, but we weren't meant to be together in the long term in that way. We were just supposed to be in each other's lives. So with any separation comes devastation. So with that devastation and that realization, there was oh, here we go with another Asian, but there was a temptation to stay together because it would be easier. But you know what kept me going? My daughter. I could not teach my daughter that it was okay to settle for less than you are worth. And that one thing about teaching my daughter that it's not okay to settle completely changed my life, because I was able to go through the depression that came with being divorced. I was able to go through the financial destruction that came with not being able to work as a result of having depression. And I was able to also cope with how to put it all back together again. Because even in the rebirth, there's pain. So the pain comes with the decision. Pain can come with the absolute process of going through your transition. And pain can come with the rebirth and the rebuilding as well. But the wonderful thing about that kind of pain, I found, is that it's not a pain that tears you apart. It's a pain that's quite empowering. It's a pain that's also infectious, because I found that I met so many people along the way who really identified and resonated with what I was going through, who had also appeared to have it all and then could not resist the call of that little but loud voice. And then you know what happens when you answer that call? Even though you answer it, you start to doubt yourself. You start to think, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have answered it, because if I hadn't have answered it, I would still be in the comfort. Yes, you would. But as we all know, nothing great happens in a comfort zone. Yeah, it's comfortable, but it doesn't stretch you. It certainly doesn't help you to grow. And nothing new comes into a comfort zone. No new opportunities, no new people, no new growth from the inside. That stuff in the heart that really wills you on doesn't exist in your comfort zone, because you're too comfortable, too busy. It's like chilling out on the sofa. It's lovely to sometimes sit on the sofa and put your feet up, but if you stay there too long, when you eventually get up, you realize that your jeans don't fit because you've grown fat, you've grown lazy, you've grown sluggish. And that's what it's like in the comfort zone. So even though it was painful, it was an empowering pain. I call it pleasure. So it's not pain, it's pleasure. And that was all because of my daughter. She's a teenager now. And part of what I do is I started this initiative last year to help mothers and daughters, because not all mother-daughter relationships are healthy, as I know. Ours is, and we're very blessed, but they're not all healthy. And sometimes when you're going through a big change in your life, if you're still lucky enough to have your mother, it's one thing to be blessed to have your mother still alive, but it's quite something else to have a relationship where your mother can become quite supportive of you. So that's something I'm really passionate about. Just through going through my own transition and seeing how my daughter has come through that transition with me, how she has shaped me to be a much better mother, but also to be a better person, to be a better business person, because I learned skills from my daughter that no amount of seminar, workshops, coaching, mentoring had ever taught me, or that I could even teach to other people at that time. So what my daughter has given me has been the greatest gift. And it sounds a bit like a cliche, really, when you're saying, oh, it's because of my daughter or because of my children. But it's not a cliche, because she's going to be here, God willing, after I've gone. And I want her to be the kind of person that's able to impact other people as well. I don't care whether she's the president, the prime minister, or, the cleaner. I always say to her, be your own prime minister, Mix. Be the prime minister of your own life. Prime ministers need to have leadership, lead your own life. They need to be diplomatic, be kind and considerate, and have empathy with the people that you deal with. They need to be statements-like and commanding in their presence. So I say to her, never be afraid to stand up in your own hallelujah. And they are great, great lessons for any young person, much less any adult. So I know that through listening to my little but loud voice, I've been able to impact her because I see it now as a teenager, how she is impacting her friends. Anyone that's got teenage girls will know. Oh, that's a whole different ball game. You know, they're friends today, they're not friends tomorrow. They're best friends today, and tomorrow it's like, who? You know, one minute they're part of the crowd, the next minute they're not part of the crowd. And seeing how she handles all of that with real presence and impact, that just makes me say every morning, Gail, you did the right thing to listen to that voice. You did the right thing to honor the voice. And you've definitely done the right thing in being the light that you are for your daughter. Because I have no problem in saying that I'm a light. And that's why I like to help women so that they can have that same confidence to say, yes, I am the light. Yes, I'm the sparkle. And I love what Marina's doing with her radio show about helping people to showcase their stardust. Because we can't be afraid of that. At no point can we be afraid of that. Because that's not just for me, but that's for you as well. Because if I'm showcasing my stardust and I'm spreading my light and I'm listening to my little bit loud voice, then that means that you are too. You're open, you're receptive to it. And what impact are you going to make when you start listening, when you start hearing and honoring? There are people that are waiting to hear you, waiting to meet you, waiting to know you. And I love meeting people. I've been networking for the past 20 years, well, more than that, before I even knew what networking was. But I've been running my business, the Breakthrough Diva, for nearly 20 years now. And I'm very, very much about helping people to brand themselves and put their personality at the forefront of whatever they do. And I show them how to do that through their styling, through their leadership, through coaching, mentoring, all sorts of different things. But I can only do that because of the road that I've traveled. If I hadn't traveled that road, if I hadn't gone through those awful times, there were some times when it was really bad, really, really bad, you know, where I had absolutely no money, sitting in a house with no heating, no light, and still have to think, how's my daughter going to get to school tomorrow? There were times when I turned to people who I thought were my best friends and allies, that I felt certain that no matter what, we would always be there for each other and help each other, and turned around and there was nobody. There was nobody. At the time, that feels like the worst thing ever, especially if you're somebody that gives from the heart. But I can absolutely guarantee you that something really beautiful is going to come from that. And that's a knowledge and an understanding of who you truly are. Who are you really at your core? When there's nothing else and no one else, who are you really? It's just you and that little but loud voice. And who you are is going to make you do what you do. Because when I realized that at the very core of me, I'm a woman that just wants everyone to be their absolute best all of the time, not just some of the time, then I was able to get up and move on and carry on. Because if I'm that woman, then I want my daughter to always know, to also know that she can be that woman. So therefore, I can't show her that it's okay to settle, and I can't show her that it's okay to crumble either. I have to show her that you can get up, you can move on, and you can do it with love, and you can do it with kindness. You don't have to get involved in the, you know, there's a trend at the moment, you know, it's all about the hustle. And whilst I agree with that in some cases, there's also a connotation that hustle is hard work. It means stepping on people, stepping over people, going for what you want at the cost of everything else. No. You can be kind, you can be helpful, and you can be you, if that's who you are. I'm very blessed to know that that's who I am. And I'm very blessed to know that a lot of the women that I meet and a lot of the women that are already in my circle are also like that too. And that comes from an understanding. So I hope that today just through sharing a little bit about my story and where I've come from and the hardships and how I came to make that decision. I just hope that that's really helped you, because one of the things that trips up a lot of women, especially women in leadership, confident, successful women, is that we sometimes have this persona that says that we have to know it all. We have to be okay all of the time. No, you don't. You just have to be you. Because even in the times when you're not okay, as long as you're certain about who you are, you can recover. You can rebuild. And you can always, always rebuild with strength and with knowledge when you know who you are. What do you think, Marina?
Wow, you made me cry. It's so much truth in everything you said, in every single message you put out there. So if our listeners could find it in their heart to embrace their truth before it's too late, to endorse their vision, to validate their dream before they become part of somebody else's vision. Absolutely. I think 2017 is giving us everything we need to accept each one of us for who we are. So who you are, Gail, is you are a goddess, the goddess of breakthrough. And you know, because I have children and because I raise them on my own, I understand that very well. And of course, we want the best for our children. But what I really, really want is exactly what you said. I want what my child wants, and I want that to happen. I don't want my child to hold back thinking that he or she is not good enough, thinking that I'm too demanding, or he is not delivering, or he is not as good as I thought he would be. You know, when you are a mother, you realize that the time you have on this planet in this lifetime is not for you, it's not yours. Exactly. You borrow the time. You borrow the time from the very, very angel you gave birth to. And I also think that what you said about getting out there culture, instant gratification culture, which we are somehow condoning and allowing, it's very damaging to the humankind, because like one of our radio presenters and one of my mentors said, Forrest Willett, who lives in Canada, he said, humankind, be both.
Absolutely.
There is that defining moment in your life, which in your case is what you teach, is your strength, the breakthrough. And that moment for me happened when I realized, okay, I'm human. I could have all the mistakes available to me and have an excuse because I'm just human. I could go to church once a week and be forgiven because God is good. Or I could become the humankind and be kind for no reason. And stop thinking that I'm all that matters. Stop thinking that I don't have enough. Start thinking that I have it all already. God gave me everything. What do I do about it?
Absolutely.
The world is waiting on me. And yes, I could create another course. I could create another poem. I could create another book. But what about delivering? Who is going to benefit unless I deliver the best version of myself, exactly like you said?
Absolutely.
Because I think we met for a reason. I don't think there are such things like coincidences. But I think we met because in our family of genius farmers of Radio W.O.R.K.S world, We started the Stardust movement where we remind people who they are and where they're going. And Stardust is like the light. It's like lighting a candle from another candle. It's contagious. So we have to take what we have exactly as it is and give it away. We are not here to be told what to do. We are here to be. And we are not here to be influenced by people who go and get. We are here to influence ourselves, to find that place of abundance in my own heart, bring it out, master it, make it better, and give it away. I really think that the sacred secret of life is sharing your story like you did, Gail. Because to me, you are the good news. The world is so much better. The world is not enough without you. And I'm so humbled for sharing your story. And I so wish that you are coming back and have your own show on a weekly basis and inspire as many people as you can.
Oh, absolutely, Marina. Absolutely. And you know, I'm all about connections. I love connecting with people. So I'm always encouraging people, come and find me. I'm so easy to find on all walks of social media. Breakthrough Diva. You know, I'm on Instagram, Gail Edwards, Breakthrough Diva. I'm on Facebook, Gail Edwards, Breakthrough Diva. I'm on LinkedIn, Gail Edwards, the Breakthrough Diva. So I'm really, really easy to find. I'm even on Snapchat. I like to have fun. One of my big values is about having fun. And I think that if you can't have fun with who you are and who you're with, then for me, there really is no point, because there's no line between work and play for me. It's all about meeting people and having as much fun as I can through our connections and our sharing. So I like to hang out on Snapchat where I can have some fun, and I'm starting to build that now. So if anyone's on there, come and find me on there, because I am going to be back. Thank you very much for inviting me back, Marina, because I will be back, and I want to hear how has it been for you? What's been your breakthrough moment? I want to hear about what's been the impact of your breakthrough moment on other people as well, because when we touch each other's hearts, as Marina says, very much like, you know, when we're sharing our stardust, when we're one candle lights another candle, suddenly we have a sea of light. And where there is light, there cannot be darkness. There just can't be. So please connect with me. Let's share. Let's talk. Let's connect. So I'm really, really pleased to have been able to share a part of myself with you today. And would you believe there's more? Oh, Marina, it's been lovely.
You are so abundant, and sharing your abundance with us and with our listeners, with the people who need to hear you. Be rest assured, Gail, that somebody out there was waiting on your message today. And I can't say how humble I am and how grateful I am to our listeners to welcoming you in their life, because surely you darling Gail, you can bring the light on a very dark sky. From both of us, until next time, it's goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.